Up. We'll move on to Yemen and free fall. So I mentioned last week how Yemen is going into a civil war. There's a lot of things going on in Yemen with foreign influence. So foreign intervention in Yemen's chaos has dramatically raised the stakes in the Arabian Peninsula, threatening to expand what is already a civil war into a conflict pitting Iran against Saudi Arabia and an Arab coalition. The Saudis launched Operation Decisive Storm last Wednesday with dozens of airstrikes in an effort to blunt the advance of Houthi militia and allied army units on the port of Aden and protect the last bastion of Yemen's internationally recognized president, Rabu Mansour Hadi. Many analysts were surprised at the speed and scale of the Saudi air campaign, which the kingdom said would continue until the Houthis, which are a Shia minority that has swept across the country in the last 6 months, retreated and laid down their arms. The Houthis, like I said, the rebels, have responded by threatening a campaign of suicide bomb attacks inside Saudi Arabia. Iran, which has supported the Houthis as fellow Shia, so we're going back to the sectarian thing of Shia versus Sunni that we've been talking the last few weeks, described the Saudi offensive as a dangerous move that would kill any chance at peaceful resolution of the crisis. So basically what this means is that Yemen could end up being the battleground between Saudi Arabia and Iran, a war that no country wants to see happen. But there's a lot at stake, as the Houthis were on the verge of overrunning Aden, a strategic port that overlooks straits through which 20,000 merchant ships pass every year, and, according to the U.S. Energy Information Agency, 3.8 million barrels of oil a day passed the Bab el-Mandeb Straits in 2013. This combination of proxy wars, sectarian violence, state collapse, and militia rule has been sadly familiar in the region. Nobody is likely to win in such a fight. To me, it is amazing how fast a region can collapse with the absence of American presence. First Iraq, and now Yemen. Me, what country's next?
Yeah, it's a very interesting story here. Honestly, fairly worrying, including the U.S. government's involvement in it. The Pentagon recently, I don't know if you heard about this, Pentagon's unable to account for about $500 million of military aid given to Yemen.
Yeah, in fact, I was reading a story on this, and Houthi rebels have gotten a lot of the American equipment. So like ISIS got a lot of the American equipment in Iraq. Well, these Houthi rebels have captured a lot of the American equipment, like Humvees and stuff like that, from the Yemen government that we gave them. Mm-hmm. So now you have these rebels who have American force behind them. Mm-hmm. Not American force, but American artillery and stuff like that behind them.
Yeah, which leads to, it's always a bit of a balance game when America decides to give military aid to a country in turmoil, just because there's so many cases in the past where
the wrong hands get to it.
Right, exactly. So like the Defense Department apparently has lost its ability to monitor. Here's a short list of some of the equipment. They're small arms, ammunition, night vision goggles, patrol boats, vehicles, and other supplies. Those are all donated by the United States, and the situation has grown worse, of course, since the U.S. closed its embassy in Sana'a, the capital, last month and withdrew many of its military advisors.
Right. I mean, it seems to me that the whole Middle East is starting to just collapse on itself. The sectarian violence over there, with the Sunnis and the Shiites going against each other. It's not good for the people over there. There's been numerous human rights violations. These people are not either side, really. Neither of them are good at human rights. They're all willing to kill women and children, and it's definitely, like I said, just this whole area is just all collapsing. It's all happened in the past 2 years.